The Dunning-Kruger effect basically is these people that know everything, and they know everything because they don't really realize how much there is to know. Have you ever done stuff like that where, someone says, hey, you want to try this sport? You want to try golf? You want to try bowling? You want to try darts? And it's like, oh my God, what do you let me get this right. Are you standing behind this line and you're taking this thing like a pencil and you're throwing it at the dartboard? Ah, no problem. And then you're like, wow, holy crap. Wait a minute. And so what people don't realize is that when all of a sudden you start getting informed and you start learning, that most people fall into the valley of despair. Now, why would they fall into the valley of despair? You would fall into the valley of despair because now you realize it's not as easy as you thought it was. There might be some information or a sequence or a certain way you should do things. Hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And this video is going to really get you guys. It's why stupid people think they're smart. Why stupid people think they're smart. And get this, I'm always learning. I'm constantly learning. And I'm going to post a YouTube video in here, but it actually explains, and it's like, here I am, almost 62 years old, and in February, and I've never heard of this. But I'm telling you what, this has baffled me. This has total baffled me. So the first thing I want to share with each and every one of you is I put a YouTube video in, but you guys have seen me talking about this for quite a while now. And I found it on another page, and it was from Watching Things. And so here's what happens is when we first hear about something, right? It's that excitement, that enthusiasm. I was taught that it was called ignorance on fire. And but what it is we don't know that we don't know. See, we have no clue. So sometimes when we get exposed to something, we believe, I'm saying me, I'm going to give you a couple of stories of this. We believe, and our confidence is very high because we know so little. We know so little. So let me give you a great example. I got taken away from my parents when I was really, really, really young. And I went to an Indian reservation. It was Trenton, North Dakota. And I was staying there at a home. And man, Ted and Janice Johnstone, they're just amazing people. I mean, and Ted, the father, was a good father figure to me. I wish I would have stayed in that home until I was 18. But bottom line, he said, listen, if you don't get good grades, then for every, thing you're below a C, you have to spend an hour on that subject every night. So if you got below a C in math or English or whatever it was, so he was really the first person that said, listen, Bobby, if you don't do this, this is going to be the results of what's happening. Right. And so I wanted to play sports. That was the first time that I ever really played any sports. And so I went out for track and basketball and football and everything. Right. And it's funny, the house was within short walking distance from the school. And so I started playing football, and I was really good. I mean, not a little bit good. I was really good. Now, to sort of, put this in a funny statement, because I hope you guys realize this, but my team said I was good. My coach said I was good. We were winning games. I'm scoring touchdowns. And I don't know that I'm playing school, and we're traveling from city to city. And, it was 9-man football, because smaller schools, they didn't allow as many people on the field. And I played offense and defense, right? And so, oh my God, hey, I can't tell you how good I am. I think maybe the school probably, I don't know, it had like, probably 50 kids, in each class, right? So you just don't know that you don't know. And long story super short, I decided to go to a tech school to be a better in mechanics. And one of the things they said is they said, listen, you could go to this bigger school and they do tryouts. They do tryouts. And if you get a scholarship, then guess what? The school's going to pay for your school. I mean, you pay for your education. So I go and try out for the love of God. I was going for half or fullback. And so they wanted me to run around in the safety as a defender, right? And the fast as I could run and cutting as fast as I could, this guy in front of me was running faster than me, keeping his eyes on me, and he was running backwards. I can't tell you how humbling it was to be around kids that had better schools, better coaches. Maybe their parents are even smart enough to get them to camps during the year to learn from people that were really, really, really good. But it became instantaneous for me to realize that I didn't know anything. And it wasn't just not knowing it, it was it wasn't I just wasn't physical enough. So if you look at everything in life, it's pretty interesting how, hey, you want to go bowling? Hey, you want to learn how to make $1 million? Hey, you want to learn how to get involved in marketing? And everyone, when they first see a business opportunity and they find out like people like I have made millions and millions and millions of dollars doing this, and they just go, oh my God, he's a fat dude from Montana, North Dakota that used to be an auto mechanic. I think he's dyslexic. If he can make this money, I'm going to crush it. And I did the same damn thing. I did the same damn thing when I got involved with this industry. Someone told me that a guy made 62 grand a month, that they seen the check attached to the stub. And so when I went there, I just remember wanting to know two things. I only needed to know two things. I said to him, what did you do before you did this? And he says, I worked at a tire store. I put tires on and off cars, fixed, tires that had holes in them. And I said, wow. And he goes, and I also installed car stereos. Well, me, with my confidence, I'm a master automotive tech, right? I'm a master automotive technician. Of course, I'm so much smarter than this guy. He can only do tires. So I remember listening to him and going, and he goes, how long have you been doing this? And he didn't tell me the truth, but he didn't lie to me either. He said, well, I've been involved with this company for 6 months. So I'm going, this guy makes 60 grand a month, used to do tires and install car stereos. I'm gonna be a multimillionaire. See, that was part of ignorance on fire, right? That is constantly being at the peak of your enthusiasm. And then my thoughts were this. Tell me if any one of you know people like this. Oh my God, this is so simple and easy. Everyone can do this. So please look it up on YouTube. The Dunning-Kruger Effect basically is these people that know everything, and they know everything because they don't really realize how much there is to know. Have you ever done stuff like that where, someone says, hey, you want to try this sport? You want to try golf? You want to try bowling? You want to try darts? And it's like, oh my God, what do you let me get this right. Are you standing behind this line and you're taking this thing like a pencil and you're throwing it at the dartboard? No problem. And then you're like, wow, well, holy crap. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And so what people don't realize is that when all of a sudden you start getting informed and you start learning, that most people fall into the valley of despair. Now, why would they fall into the valley of despair? You would fall into the valley of despair because now you realize it's not as easy as you thought it was. There might be some information or a sequence or a certain way you should do things. And so some people humble themselves, like me, and I'm not interested in learning from anybody else. I want to make 62 grand a month. So I listened and became humble and coachable because I didn't know. I knew that I didn't know. But here's something I did know. I did know that if I listen to other people that have what I want in life, their lifestyle, their freedom, their traveling the world, giving money to charity. There was all these things that, wow, if I follow what they do. But see, most people won't ever look at their actual income. See, to me, if I look at something that I'm doing and I don't see deposits from what I'm doing, then that means that I don't know. See, I immediately mentally go, if I'm not getting results, the reason why is I need to learn from people that are documented and teaching people how to get the level of success that I want. That's what I do. And so there's been times in my life where I see this. And what's the opposite, by the way? The opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect is imposter syndrome. Now, don't you guys find it interesting that people that have imposter syndromes are the opposite? See, they're getting results and they're doing very well. And then they think, oh my God, if people only knew that I don't know what I'm doing, if people only knew I don't really know hardly anything. And we go, well, why are they doing good? Well, because they believe they don't know enough and they're getting bigger results than what they believe in themselves, what they know. So they feel like the money that they're making and everything that they're doing, it's like they feel like they're being an imposter, that they're actually living a lifestyle and creating the income that they don't feel they deserve, that they're not worthy of. So they're doing the exact opposite of the majority of the people on the planet that don't realize that they don't know that they don't know. And so when all of a sudden they start getting to this point in the valley of despair, that's when you got to make that decision, which I've shared on other videos. When you got to go, okay, okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was. I'm not getting consistent results in helping other people get a paycheck or a rank. Maybe what I need to do is I need to humble myself. And that's why I love this business so much. Maybe I should let this person coach and teach my people. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to consistently put my new people in front of their videos because it's very obvious that I don't even know that I don't know on how to dreamscape, how to get people excited enough to introduce to me the very best people. Well, maybe they don't want to introduce them to me. Maybe they want to introduce them to the person that knows what the hell's going on. So, see, that's pretty interesting because I know a lot of people that I believed in my heart could crush this, but they don't know that they're ignorant. Instead of saying the word stupid, they don't know that they don't know. So the other story I wanted to share with you guys is apparently my mentors understood this very well. I don't think that they knew that it was called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I think that That was like 90. You guys got to watch this video. This guy, really hilarious, that this guy put lemon juice all over his face. So he put lemon juice all over his face. And because when you use lemon juice as an ingredient, it makes ink. When you write on a paper, it makes ink go invisible. So he thought if he put lemon juice all over his face, it would make him invisible. And then he went and robbed banks. And so, of course, when he went in to rob the banks, he didn't even have a mask on. The cameras seen him. They put it on the television. People said, "Oh my God, that's Bobby Hollis," and they went over and arrested him. And he thought, listen, he said, how did you find me? I had the juice on." And they're going, "What are you talking about?" Well, he said, "I put lemon juice on my face, and I would be invisible. The cameras couldn't see me." So even when they showed him the camera footage of him, and he's looking at it, he went, "That's got to be doctored video. That's got to be doctored video." And I know that every one of you, listen closely, I know that every one of you have seen people do things and you go, "You got to be freaking kidding me." And so a lot of you have heard a lot of stuff about conspiracy theories, and it's not that people don't know. It's like the stuff that they know they believe in 1000%. They never ever took the time to do what my mentors beat me up with, is like, "Robert, how do you know that? How do you know that?" Well, Jim Joe Bob from Arkansas said it. It's got to be true. So the one thing I want to share with you guys is, again, a small personal story. So my mentor used to dress up in characters, and he came out as this martial artist, right? So you got the music playing in the back, and he's coming out as a martial artist. And then he turns around and he does this. He comes out, he's got this big block of wood, and he's got this big giant bucket of water. And he sets that bucket of water on the board. And then in front of him, he's got a bunch of things. So he says, "A thimble." So he grabs a thimble, puts it in the water, and then he sets it on the board. And he goes, "People don't know that they're thimbles, and they think that they know everything. If you don't believe them, just ask them." But when it comes to marketing and communicating with people and being a business person and building wealth and freedom and an incredible lifestyle of leverage, they think they know it all. They think they know it all. So when someone knows everything, you can't help them. They don't even know that they don't know. So that's why I learned from my mentors how to use parables and use, theoreticals to get people to go, "Man, I I never realized that Amazon makes $35 billion a year with 200 million people on, Prime membership." What? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? And so when you can document that kind of stuff, documentation beats conversation. So actually proving something, when you do that to people and they finally go, I didn't know that. Oh my God. Then you immediately got them to a place where they realize that you are getting wisdom and knowledge from something other than what everybody else is getting it from. Are you guys catching this? And so that thimble, you can't put any more into that thimble because you try to put water in it, more water in it, it just overflows. And so then my mentor would take that thimble and he would hold up a shot glass and he would take that thimble and pour it in the shot glass, and you couldn't even see the water. It was so insignificant. It was such a small amount. So see, a shot glass looks at a thimble and goes, my God, you know, this is like the lowest part of ignorance. But here's what's crazy about it. That person, ignorance on fire, they got this incredible confidence. So people that know hardly nothing have so much confidence because they go, I know it all. Everyone's going to believe me. And so they have a tendency of falling a little harder than the average person. And when they get into the valley of despair, they stay there until they run into another business or an opportunity. And then they want to be the know-it-all for that one. And they just keep repeating the cycle. They just keep repeating. They get into something new. They're all excited. Then they find out it takes knowledge and time. And they don't understand that, man, to actually make leverage happen, that means you have a lot of people underneath you that are making a full-time income, whether they're stockholders, whether they're employees, whether they're other affiliates. So if you don't have a lot of people that are making a full-time income in your organization that you earn off of, then you don't understand the model that I'm in. Huh? So now you fill up the shot glass. Now that's a different level, right? Now you're getting some more knowledge, but you still can't comprehend of what an 8-ounce glass is. And an 8-ounce glass sure can't comprehend what a gallon pitcher knows. And the gallon pitcher cannot in any way, shape, or form understand exactly what the bucket knows, which could be a significance of all the wisdom and knowledge in the universe. And so people that are really good at becoming great at a lot of things are the people that are humble and they really understand that they don't know that they don't know. And so they're wanting to learn as much knowledge as they possibly can and figuring out this knowledge. And then all of a sudden they get up here and all of a sudden you're enlightened. You get the aha moments. Oh my God, why didn't I ever think about sharing with people how they could put an extra $200 a month in their budget while they're using better quality products, premium products, that when they work for them, they will share with others. Now, I'm going to go back to being the consumer person with confidence, and I'm just going to sell stuff. I'm just going to be a salesperson. Oh, okay. So when someone says people franchise, you don't get the understanding of leverage. Nah. Some people will, some won't. Who cares? You know what I mean? Just throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see if it works. That's where the phrase comes from. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. So, don't you think that it's interesting that some people in this industry can consistently make a million plus a year and other people have never ever shown anybody how to do it? So, not only have I shown and made a million a year, but I have found 67 people that I help make over a million in commission. And 9 of those own their own company that teaches other people how to get a full-time income. So it is different. It is different from thinking this is a hobby to supplementing my income by selling stuff to actually developing a plan of action to actually help people make enough income where they can make a million a year and give millions of dollars to charity over the years. So now I finally got the aha moment because my biggest frustration in the world is people just continue to do the same stuff they've always done when they've already seen years and years and years and years and years and years of undocumented success. So now I know why my mentor said to me, Robert, you know what's the worst kind of success? What? A little. See, there's nothing worse in the world than being taught by somebody how to do something that you believe that they knew what they were doing because of a pin or a trophy or what someone gave them in an introduction, right? Giving them praise and recognition, and their head gets big, and then they don't know how to learn. They don't know how to take their organization to the next level. So then they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Then it doesn't work. Their checks go down, people disappear. They have to replace their group, and then the people disappear. And then they got to replace their group, and their people disappear. And then they got to find a way to get that excitement back. They got to find a way to get that ignorance on fire. So then what they do is they jump into a new company or a new opportunity, and then they get to do it all over again. They don't realize that the enthusiasm, excitement that they had, that when they get to know more, then they end up in the valley of despair and they don't know how to seek out a mentor that has taught other people how to do that, and just stay with the same company until you learn that knowledge. Pretty interesting. So, I will say one more thing. I think it's funny. We used to have these people, my mentor would call Ned the Nerd, and you might have seen some pictures of me doing that character. And so Ned the Nerd is this individual that they'll tell you exactly what they need to be successful. And you're going, That's not it." Well, Robert, do you have any samples? Hey, Robert, can you send me some samples? Hey, Robert, is there any way I can get the rights to just this one area? Because I'm going to hire and pay salespeople to go out to, all these places, right? We're going to go to every gas station and we're going to sell FFX. And you're going like, that's, that's not the way to do it. Oh, you watch. I'll show you. I'll show you how to do this. And you're like, wow, man. Wow. So I never understood that, but now I know that they're just excited. And because they believe with no documentation that it works, that they just keep doing the insanity, doing the same thing over and over. So I hope this video helped you. Now, instead of thinking of Ned the Nerd, I'm just going, oh my God, here's this Dunning-Kruger effect. The person doesn't know that they don't know that they don't know. And so, you got to be patient with these people. You got to share with them theoreticals like I do. Now I know why my mentor did that to me and why I do it to other people. See, I do it to other people. I'm going, hey, you ever heard of real estate? Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be a customer that buys and sells a home? Would you like to be an agent that sells that home and helps people buy a home? Would you like to be a broker that has a bunch of agents underneath them? Or would you like to own a Remax franchise, a business where that business has a lot of brokers that have a lot of agents that do a lot of sales? Well, I'd rather be a franchise owner. Okay. I'm so glad you got that. I'm so glad you got that. And then they send me a message and they go, hey, Robert, is there any way that we can mail samples to Bangladesh? Because this guy wants to take the product to all these trucking companies, and he's going to get all the gas stations, including cruise ships, and also they're going to get these giant shipping containers. You know how much diesel fuel a shipping cargo ship takes? Can you imagine getting one of these? And I'm going like, what the hell is this guy talking about? There's the example. So I love and appreciate you. I pray this sort of, go watch some YouTube videos. I've been watching 3 or 4 YouTube videos because now I just know the person is, what is that phrase they always say? Stupid people don't know they're stupid. Ignorant people don't know they're ignorant. But they have so much confidence in faking themselves out and lying to themselves that they think they got this figured out. They never, I don't know how you could explain to them. Is there other businesses that you tried that didn't work? Oh yeah, I've been in a lot of them. But it's like, wow, did you maybe think it was you? Did you ever think that it was you? What are you talking about? Have you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect? Yeah, I might be wrong. I know that I've done this. I know that I gave you guys some examples of when I thought I knew everything. And then I was extremely humbled because the results didn't show, you know? Anyway, I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do me a huge personal favor and share it with others. And if no one's giving you permission to succeed in life and be happy and fulfilled, let me do that, because my mentors did that for me. So ask yourself, are you overconfident in something that you really don't have any results that you'd like to share with others? Man, if there's any Dunning-Kruger effect, it's in the life coaching business. Man, this information is awesome. It's awesome. Everyone needs to know this. Can you give me an example of how you applied it to your life? What? What'd you say, Willis? What? Oh my God, I could go on forever. Love you again. See you soon.